Hey, how's it going guys? Jack and Matt here with the Toaster Bros, and today we're building a $750 Micro Center sponsored gaming PC.
It's that time of the month. We're giving away another gaming PC sponsored by Micro Center, and we are live right now over on twitch.tv/ToasterBros doing it. Hello, Twitch chat.
So you guys know that we love Micro Center because you can actually go in person, pick up all of these parts, and hey, with everything going on, a lot of these places online are first of all not getting your items sent to you, or it's not in stock. Well, Micro Center, you can actually go pick up this stuff right now, and they do typically have all the stuff in stock.
Micro Center right now has a promotion going on. If you go in store, you get a free USB flash drive and SD card just for showing up. So be sure to use the links in the description down below. If you're purchasing this PC or you're going to a local Micro Center, be sure to take a look at those deals. And special thanks again to them for sponsoring this monthly PC giveaway.
All right guys, so for the processor, we have the Intel 10th Gen Core i3 10100. So this is a really good 4-core 8-threaded processor, and hey, you can't get the Ryzen 3100 or the 3300X right now. This sits right in between those two, and honestly, for the price of them being under $100 at times, really good deal. Really good deal. Now for the motherboard, we have a lot of experience with these boards because we've been using the hell out of them. This is the MSI B460 Pro, and this is a B460, so it's not one of the cheaper H310s or anything. So it does actually allow slide overclocking into the RAM, which is nice to have, and it does have some expandability. And we also like that for a cheaper board, it actually comes with M.2 heat sinks and shields and everything. So honestly, for the price, it's a pretty good board. Now for RAM, we have 16 gigs of the Crucial Ballistics RGB RAM. It's 3200 megahertz, which you won't fully get to utilize because I think this board supports up to like the
2933.
But RGB, it's relatively cheap. This stuff's usually under $80, so we highly recommend 16 gigs anyways. Now for storage, we decided to go with their in-house brand. This is an Inland 512 gig PCIe Gen 3. And it's NVMe, but 512 gigs should be plenty of space to download Warzone and maybe the new Call of Duty, and that's pretty much it. So you could always add some more drives to this, but hey, 512 gigs and it's a boot drive will be plenty for starting off in this build.
Now for the graphics card, we have the Sapphire Pulse RX 5600 XT. Now this card is kind of hard to find right now, but they actually have these in stock in Micro Center, so if you're looking to do a PC build at this price point, you could probably pick one up there, potentially. But the 5600 XT is an awesome card for the money. It pretty much matches something like a 2060 super level card, but you do get it at a better price point most of the time. So really awesome value card, excited to test it in this PC build. And for the power supply, of course, with a Micro Center video, we got to use their in-house brand. This is the PowerSpec 500 watt, 80 plus efficient unit. Now this thing is more than enough for a PC build like this, and Micro Center's PowerSpec brand does deliver some really awesome power supplies for the money. And last, but certainly not least, this is the Cooler Master MB311L. This is like one of our go-to micro ATX cases of choice because it comes in at a good price point and it comes with 2 ARGB fans and a mesh front panel for a really awesome price. So for a micro ATX build, case is kind of like a no-brainer. It's really easy to build in and it makes for some really clean PC builds. So we're very excited to build this PC. How about we just go ahead and do it right now? Let's go. ladies and gentlemen, now that we have this gaming PC all put together, let's talk about a few benchmarks real quick. Now keep in mind, when we do these giveaway PCs, we normally use a configuration that we have done before because we know it works, so the benchmarks are, well, kind of redundant. But for those who have not seen this configuration before, let's show you some benchmarks. First up, in Call of Duty Cold War on high settings at 1080p, we averaged over 80 FPS, which is really awesome. Cold War is definitely a demanding game, but the 5600 XT and 10100 does a great job getting a very playable result. If you did lower the settings to medium, you could most certainly get a high refresh rate gaming experience. I really do like the i3 10100 right now. It is a great alternative to the Ryzen 3 3100, which is impossible to get, and delivers some awesome performance. It can handle even some of the higher end GPUs on the market. As you can see in Call of Duty Cold War, the 5600 XT was actually the bottleneck in most situations, so in theory, you could go with a better GPU, but I do think the system is really balanced as is. Next up, in Call of Duty Warzone, which for some reason you guys want me to test even though it's very similar to Cold War, we got over 100 FPS most of the time. Warzone is kind of the easier game to run compared to Cold War, so you can see that it actually is very playable and you have a really good time doing so. Getting over 100 FPS on high settings, same situation, you could lower the settings and get close to 144 Hz if you're rocking a 1080p 144 Hz monitor. I think this PC would be really good for that. And last but certainly not least is Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and on high settings at 1080p, we averaged around 70 FPS at the end of the benchmark run. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is our demanding benchmark of choice, and well, 70 FPS is a passable experience. This is where the i3 10100 starts to show some of its weakness, because Shadow of the Tomb Raider is a very CPU dependent game. In certain situations, the i3 does allow this PC to dip below 60 FPS, so do keep that in mind. You might have some issues in games like Cyberpunk with the i3 only being a 4-core 8-thread, but for pretty much any other game on the market like Call of Duty Warzone, Fortnite, Rainbow Six Siege, all those esports titles, you're going to have a really good 100 plus FPS experience at 1080p high settings. But if you lower some settings in other AAA titles, you can definitely hit the 60 FPS mark by doing so. So overall, I am incredibly happy with this PC build for the money, and special thanks to Micro Center for sending the parts over for another awesome giveaway stream. Micro Center is the best place to pick up these PC parts because they're more likely to have them than anyone else right now. So if you have a local Micro Center, I highly suggest you go hit them up. Now that we finished the benchmarking section of today's video, how about we go to bring Jackson back in here to wrap this video up real quick.
So as you guys could tell, for $750 via Micro Center, this PC is really, really awesome, especially right now for the price. Although as of the time making this video, you really can't get the graphics card and maybe a couple other things in this. So hopefully by the time this video comes out, some of the stuff will be more readily available.
The combo of the 5600 XT and i3 10100 does work pretty well in most games, and you can easily upgrade the system with an i5 or a future 11th gen processor in the future. So for the money, I think this is a really awesome build. The key problem is actually being able to get your hands on this stuff, but if you can, it is definitely recommended by us, and the person who won this PC from our giveaway is going to most certainly enjoy it.
You already won it.
You already won. Don't comment down below.
Stop it.
Stop what you're doing right now. You're doing it.
You probably did it before the video even started.
Yes, I know.
So once again, huge thanks to Micro Center for sponsoring and helping out with these live streams. As always, don't forget to check out our twitch.tv/toastybros to find the next month's giveaway, which we don't have an exact date yet, but it'll probably be like January 8th or something like that. So make sure you stay tuned for all our social medias and everything, because we will post about it. Also check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros again. And links in the description down below will be affiliate links and Micro Center links. And I don't even know where I'm going anymore with this.
He's lost.
We should probably wrap this video up.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.